Hey guys, this is an important video because I see many Indian students studying in Germany making these mistakes over and over again. If you know somebody who is studying in Germany right now, or if you know you're a parent or something, you're watching sometimes video for them, because I know many parents do it. It is very important that you share it with them so that they can understand not to make these 7 mistakes. Because I, for example, right now I get students in my coaching programs. I see that throughout their masters, they should have taken completely different steps, but they end up making these 7 blunders which are just absolutely no go if you want to build a good career for yourself in Germany. Because again, coming to Germany or studying in Germany, that's not the entire purpose. Once you have studied in Germany, of course you want to earn money afterwards, nah? So to get a good job, just make sure that you're a bit more careful. And I'm going to start with them right away. The first blunder that many students do is not planning the job search well in advance. Because what happens is, you start your masters and you're already busy with the paperwork and with the assignments, with the subjects and things like that, with the evaluations. Semesters pass by, week pass by. Then all of a sudden you realize that first semester has gone, now it's second semester, and you say, okay, I still have time, I will do it in the third semester. Third semester comes, and then you realize that you actually have to register for master thesis. Now I'm telling you from my personal experience that finding the topic for your master thesis and actually writing your master thesis, this is going to take a lot of time. Finding the topic alone, you will have to go back and forth with the professor, with the supervisor. So just make sure that you're not making these mistakes, because this is going to take time. Just like the question alone is going to take time. So when you are done with your subjects during your third semester, on the side you'll be focusing on the question, and this is going to make you lose focus, and then you are not going to be preparing for the job search at all. You'll be doing it in the fourth semester when you're writing your master thesis. Alongside that, you'll be doing it. Of course, you have an 18-month stay back period after your master's is done, but I personally don't see the sense why you should just finish your masters, not have a job. I would personally prefer that you're already finishing your masters and having a job offer already. And I think it makes the most sense that most of the companies, they want to hire somebody as soon as possible. Searching for jobs in the last semester, that makes sense, of course, but you have to build the foundation for that job search already from the very first semester. And I'm going to show you in this video how exactly do you do that with the next steps that I'm going to be talking about. But just telling you in advance that if you're not searching for the job, or if you're not planning for the job search well in advance, when it actually comes the time when you have to start looking for jobs, you will get overwhelmed and alone in a foreign country and thinking about finding a job because you have put so much money inside education. We see students then get into just stressful situations. So in these kind of scenarios, it is very important that you prepare yourself already, especially for the students who are coming to Germany in these phases, because again, economy is completely changing, things are different, companies are still hiring. During the corona times alone, our company grew from just nobody, it was me alone, to 13 people. But the one thing that I can tell you is true is companies are definitely more stringent about whom they want to hire, because they don't want to risk any kind of mishires. So keep this in mind. Second blunder that many students make is they think that because they have now come to Germany, they know everything. That is not the case. Once you come to Germany, you just have a playground to try different kind of things. You haven't made it leveled yet. For leveling the playground, you have to learn German, you have to network, you have to actually understand how the country works, how the work culture is, and so on. So don't fall into this trap that just because you have now started studying in a German university, you know everything. You don't know everything. You have to learn. You always have to be in a student mindset. You have to learn things. Even right now when I have multiple businesses, I don't care. I'm still willing to learn more about different kind of things which come to me and from all sorts of people. You could be studying in India right now, or you could be just in your bachelor's or something, but maybe you will tell me one thing which I wouldn't know about at all. So I always have an open mind about these kind of things. And especially when you are in Germany, you have your professors, you have your colleagues, you have your batchmates, you have some other students with whom you will have some subjects together, right? Learn from them, see what kind of things they are doing, spend some time talking to them. That's very important. Now, but don't think that you know everything. Be confident if something new comes up that you'll be able to learn it, you'll be able to tackle it, but don't get into the mindset that you know everything already. The third blunder that I see many Indian students making is not taking out time to network. I mean, I know from our education system when we come out, many times students are socially awkward, or they're shy, they don't want to speak to other people because they're okay, we don't want to annoy them or something. But you have to take out time to speak to other people, especially when you have a purpose. The purpose of networking is that you want to build your contacts. You want to speak to other interesting people who are doing interesting things in your field. So if you're not taking out 30 minutes in a day, on LinkedIn, like, connecting with different kind of people, like responding to the posts that they are making and just seeing who are the important people in your field, then you're like massively missing out. Because at the time when it comes to ask for a favor, that person wouldn't know you enough. Like, just liking doesn't mean anything. That's just passive engagement. If you're making a comment, if you're writing something thoughtful under the post, if you're giving your opinion, those things matter. So do that when you're in Germany. That's very, very important. And people actually appreciate other people who have their own ideas. So keep this in mind. I'm also in LinkedIn. So if you want to like, connect with me there, just send me a request. Fourth mistake is not learning German. That's very important, like especially for students who are not in the IT field. For IT field, yes, like, IT computer science, like if you are not knowing German, you can still find jobs without any kind of problems whatsoever. But I just tell you, like, it is so much more important that you learn German so that you can rise up in the corporate ladder. It's a simple calculation. And I can tell you from my perspective, because now I have like, people working under me and I can understand like, how to manage them. If you can give somebody lesser responsibilities, that means you can only pay them less because they're working less, or like, they're taking not enough parts of the business so that you can pay them more, right? The higher up you come, the closer you come to the C level, the more the responsibilities become, and the more you can pay the person because he's taking like, more, let's say, burden off the shoulders of the person who like, founded the company or something. So keep this in mind. Like, if you're not having German proficiency, you will not be able to attend different kind of meetings. You will not be able to communicate well with other business partners who are in the DACH region, so Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and a lot of business for German companies come from these other two countries too. So like, keep this in mind and be proficient in English. Of course, improve your English. This does not mean that you like completely neglect your communication skills. So you have to focus on learning English anyways, but you also should focus on learning German. That's very important. The fifth blunder that many students make is not taking their internship or part-time job seriously. I've told this over and over again in many of my videos that internships or part-time jobs, they translate very nicely into full-time employment. Companies love to hire people who have already worked with them part-time or as an intern as full-time employees because they already know you, they already know how you work, they've already trained you. When you hire somebody, I tell you, like, whenever we hire somebody new, I have to train them, right? Like, my time is getting invested. I'm paying somebody else who also has to train them. And I'm paying that person money, like whom we have hired new. So there is a lot of cost involved. There's a lot of time involved. That's why companies love to like, hire the same person again afterwards. But given that you actually care about that job, that you actually performed well in that job. That is very important. Keep this in mind, that if you don't perform well, then there is no chance. You can like apply for a full-time job like in a completely different department or something, but there will be an internal discussion. They will ask, okay, was this person good or not? So put extra effort inside when you're in your internship or in your part-time job. That is really going to pay well afterwards. The sixth one is not managing your time. That is again like, a blunder that many students make, because in our Indian education system, we are not taught to use calendars for different kind of appointments and so on. But I think this is a habit which is a good habit. Like, if you're already in India, you're doing your bachelor's or something, or even if you're 12th, like start using Google Calendars. Like, that's very important. Like, it reminds you whenever some kind of new appointment comes up, so you can like manage your time better. And also managing your time means like not really micromanaging everything. So like, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here, blah, blah, nonsense. Like, have slots of 2 hours each. So let's say 2 hours I'm going to do this, afterwards 2 hours I'm going to do this, have a gap of an hour or something in the middle. And like, my general idea for like, managing the time is I always want to focus on 3 most important things in the day, 2 other things, which might come up, or like, any kind of small things whatsoever. But I have these like then slots for all of these things. Now, but like never micromanaging, just have a basic idea of how you want to divide your day, but have that idea, put that inside the calendar. If you have some specific appointments, put those specific appointments, but like be structured. That is really going to help you out, and you will be able to take out time for networking. You will be able to take out time for going outside, taking a walk, going to the gym whatsoever. But like without a calendar, you cannot do any of these things. So very important. Now, the last one which I can tell you is like not reaching out for help. As a foreigner, like I said, like if you're in a different country, you anyways feel like, yeah, does it make sense at all to like, go ask somebody for help, or like, should I ask him this, that? Not that I'm annoying them, but there's always a good way to ask a question, and you have to practice that. You have to learn these things during your university time already. How do you ask somebody a question? How do you enter into a fruitful conversation with somebody? How do you ask that person a favor? Because many people, what they do is like, I get LinkedIn requests all the time, and there's like the first like in-mail that they send me, like that's already a question. And like it has nothing for me, right? So whenever you're like writing to somebody, and like this is a practical advice I can give you, that whenever you're trying to connect with somebody, show that you care about the person, show that you know enough about them, show that you actually have seen what kind of post they have made or something, or what kind of work they are doing. If you made the other person feel special, first of all, they will be more receptive of actually accepting your request. And then you can also like ask them for a favor afterwards once you have gone through like some kind of conversation, right? I generally say 3-4 like, back and forth is good, and then afterwards you can like ask them the thing that has been bugging you. Hey, I wanted to like quickly ask you this, would you be able to help me with this and this and this, or would you have any idea for XYZ? I think this is a good way to ask any kind of questions you're having, right? But really spend time on LinkedIn, man. I'm telling you, like it pains me like when I see students at this stage now, like, they're ending their masters and stuff, and they never thought about these things throughout their masters, because they were of the opinion, because they are studying right now in Germany, they know everything. Now, some students are not serious, right? Like they just come to Germany for exposure, for whatever that means, right? If you are not amongst them and you invested the money with the hopes that you want to build a good life in Germany, and like that's pretty much my target audience. Like when I'm talking to somebody, like, I have a avatar in front of me, like I think that I'm talking to this particular person, and that person is ambitious. They want to make a good life for themselves in Germany. Think about these mistakes, don't make them, because this is just going to like extend your entire process of building a good life for yourself. It is going to extend the process of building wealth, of like, starting your own side businesses, of starting your own side projects whatsoever. So just something I wanted to share. There's also a free PDF about like the mistakes that you should avoid during your job search, which is linked in the description below. So take a look at that too, and I will see you in the next one. And again, I think for the 5th or 6th time, don't make these mistakes. Bye.